From the roar of the crowd to the clash of tempers, hockey has always been about passion. But sometimes that passion spills over the ice and right into the stands. In today's video, we're diving into the wildest moments when players and fans faced off, turning cheers into jeers. So let's relive the top 7 infamous NHL brawls that broke the boundaries between players and fans. 7. Bruins vs. Maple Leaf. We're kicking things off with the infamous clash between Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs. During one of their heated rivalry games, the intensity wasn't just confined to the rink this time. It spilled into the crowd. What started as some spirited trash talk between fans quickly escalated into something much more physical. The shoves began, fists flew, and soon the stands erupted into chaos. Security scrambled to contain the situation, but with a fierce rivalry between these two teams, the brawl wasn't going to die down easily. The players may have been locked in their own battle on the ice, but the real showdown that night unfolded in the stands, proving once again that the passion of hockey fans can match and sometimes even surpass the intensity of the game itself. 6. Rob Ray vs. fans. Speaking of fan involvement, things got even crazier when Rob Ray found himself dealing with a fan who decided to take matters into his own hands. It was April 1992, and during the final moments of the game, a fan, on a dare no less, decided it would be a great idea to jump into the Sabres bench. What happened next? Well, let's just say Rob Ray wasn't about to let a fan waltz in unscathed. The fan took 17 or 18 brutal punches from Ray, one of the league's penalty minute kicks, before the police finally stepped in. It's a miracle the fan survived the beatdown, and Rob Ray, somehow he walked away without criminal charges or a league suspension. It's just another day in the world of hockey, folks. 5. Rick Rypien vs. Minnesota Wild fans. Speaking of unexpected brawls, Rick Rypien had his own infamous moment when a fan got under his skin. After a heated-on-ice fight, Rypien was on his way to the locker room, but a heckling Minnesota Wild fan set him off. Rypien snapped and grabbed the fan, sparking a huge controversy. His action earned him a 6-game suspension, while the fan received a lifetime ban from the XL Energy Center. This moment was a clear example of how even the coolest players can lose control when pushed too far. It's a thin line between passionate fandom and outright provocation. 4. New York Islanders vs. Pittsburgh Penguins fan. And now, let's dive into a dramatic incident from February 11, 2011, featuring Trevor Gillies of the New York Islanders and a passionate Pittsburgh Penguins fan. Tensions were already high as the teams faced off at Nassau Coliseum when a Penguins fan began hurling particularly nasty remarks at the Islanders players. In a surprising move, Isles forward Kyle Okposo responded by slamming against the glass and giving the fan a piece of his mind. The situation escalated when the fan retaliated by throwing a drink at Okposo, igniting a shouting match between players and fans. Security quickly intervened to prevent things from getting completely out of hand. This wild altercation exemplifies how passionate fans can spark intense rivalries, turning a typical hockey game into a memorable showdown that still resonates with fans today. 3. Dallas Stars vs. Minnesota Wild. Switching gears from player altercations to the stands, let's dive into one of the wildest fan brawls ever seen between Dallas Stars and Minnesota Wild supporters. In a game where the action on the ice was already fierce, the real drama erupted in the stands. As emotions boiled over, what started as a verbal exchange between fans quickly escalated into a full-blown fistfight. Rival supporters from both teams jumped into the dispute, turning the section into a chaotic scene. Security scrambled to break up the mayhem, but by then, punches had already been thrown, and it became one of the most talked about brawls involving fans. The showdown wasn't just a clash of teams, but a rivalry that extended to the fan base, reminding everyone that in hockey, even the spectators can become part of the action. 2. Ty Domi vs. Joe Fan. Now let's dive into a notorious clash between Ty Domi and a bold Flyers fan. With tensions already high after a rough hit, Domi found himself in the penalty box, right in the line of fire from some overly enthusiastic Flyers fans. At first, it was just harmless banter and a little water spray here and there, but when one fan got too close for comfort and lunged at the glass, things escalated fast. The barrier broke, and suddenly the fan was in the penalty box with Domi. What followed was a flurry of fists and chaos, as Domi, not knowing what this guy was up to, let his instincts take over. Imagine being in that fan's shoes, or better yet, in Domi's fists. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. 1. Boston Bruins vs. New York Rangers fan. And now, saving the most intense for last, we revisit what is widely considered the #1 fan player brawl in NHL history. It happened on December 23, 1979 at Madison Square Garden between Boston Bruins and the New York Rangers. What started as an on-ice fight soon spilled into the stands when a Rangers fan decided to get a little too personal, taking a swipe at one of the Bruins players. In a matter of seconds, the Bruins stormed the stands, with Mike Milbury famously using a fan's own shoe as a weapon. The NHL responded with heavy suspensions and fines, but that moment is forever etched in hockey history. It's the ultimate reminder: never taunt a player, especially when they're already in fight mode. From heated exchanges to unforgettable chaos, these moments show just how intense the world of hockey can get, both on and off the ice. If you enjoyed this wild ride through NHL history, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic moments from the world of sports. Until next time, keep your passion high, but let's leave the fights to the pros.
Water on Chris 3 times, according to the friends, and Chris left with a cut on his forehead. So,
probably from Kevin Collins.